I'm Jeff White from VirginiaSports.com, and I'm here with UVA's new head football coach, Tony Elliott. Coach, this is your first signing day. You did not really put this class together, but what are your thoughts on this group of 10 young men?
First, just really excited to welcome them to the family. I know that Coach Mendenhall and his staff spent a tremendous amount of time recruiting these young men. I was able to spend some time with Coach Bronco and just talk about how they fit within the program, get a better feel. Had a chance to have a Zoom conversation with most of them, just outlining Virginia football going forward. So it's a different signing day than what I'm used to, but this unique situation. But we're coming out of 2020 and 2021. Nothing's been as we thought. But just really excited for these young men to fulfill a dream. Right, they all started on this journey and dreamed about this day. So excited for them and welcome them to the family.
What do you think it says about these players that they decided to honor their commitments that were made, to another coaching staff?
Oh, unbelievable. In this day and age, it just shows that these young men are full of character. They understand why they made the decision. They're committed to the University of Virginia. They didn't necessarily commit to a coach. I know that they had tremendous relationships with Bronco and his staff, but it just shows that they came to Virginia because they fell in love with the University of Virginia, and being a part of the football program is just a piece of that.
You will have opportunities to augment this class in the coming months. Do you expect this group to significantly grow, whether with more high school signees or players from the transfer portal?
Definitely tomorrow's going to be a different day because we're going to have to step back and see the numbers positionally. And I know there's some guys right now that are kind of making decisions on whether they're going to stay or whether they're going to transfer out. So definitely got to make sure that we protect the program by having the right number of scholarship players at each position to have the appropriate depth to be able to go out and prepare for the season. Don't know what that combination will be. Obviously now it's kind of my vision going forward. So it's going to be fun to kind of piece those two together.
You and Coach Mendenhall have each mentioned how this is a unique situation. You've had opportunities each day to meet and talk with each other. What's that been like to build a relationship with him and talk about these players and coaches in the program and existing players?
Oh, man, I think 5 years from now I'm going to look back and say that these are probably the two best weeks of my coaching career, especially with this transition. And I remember when we first met Coach Bronco, and really he spent more time talking to my wife, which at the time now I didn't quite, because I'm thinking, hold on, I'm the coach, but he's trying to get her ready for this transition. And 3 days in, I'm like, okay, now I see, his approach and why he was having that conversation, and just the appreciation for the perspective and the experience that he has, and being able to help me process, these new experiences that I'm going through. So it's just been invaluable, and I can't thank him enough. And it just speaks to his character. Obviously, he cares deeply about the Virginia football program. He cares deeply about this university, and he wants to see the program be successful. And he's willing to invest his time when he doesn't have to help me continue to learn and grow, so that I can be prepared to take it to the next level.
The early signing period has been around, early signing day has been around for several years now. I think it's become apparent that there are some unintended consequences that maybe people did not anticipate when it was put in place. What are your thoughts about it as it exists right now, and would you like to see some changes to the calendar or the way it's constructed?
In terms of the calendar and the way it's constructed, I don't have enough information as a head coach to really have an opinion on that. But just from my coaching experience and seeing it, it's good for some, and then for others, there are unintended consequences. I think about where I'm coming from. Those guys are committed, in the summer. And so they're ready to sign in December. And then there's guys that are still undecided. And then they have an opportunity to decide or wait. And then now you have coaching changes where young men are impacted, days before they're set to sign. And then you have the dead period for 3 days into signing day. So there's so many different variables that you got to manage. And for me, just the unintended consequences that I worry about is just the impact that it has on young people, making decisions, quickly because they feel like they may not have an opportunity to go to a particular place if they don't make it. Then you have transfers, that are in the equation, and so then coaches got to make decisions. Do I supplement my roster, with guys that got experience? And really the ones that I feel like are impacted and unintended are the younger high school kids, because there's less spots when you start talking about the transfer portal and signing day and filling up rosters. So there's definitely a bunch of unintended consequences. And only thing I'd like to say if I was going to change something is just let's do what's best for the student athlete, right? Let's do what's best for the high school student, and make it as much common sense to it as possible, so that we can eliminate some of those unintended consequences.
Great, thank you.
All right, thank you.